Hi everyone, my name is Emily Kitchener. I am a professional makeup artist and certified educator. I am here today to show you my everyday go-to Luxe Glam. Now, I have already done my skin preparation, which is cleanse, tonic and moisturize. I like to do it about 10 minutes before I start my makeup application. I will also be doing a separate video of this very soon, so watch out for that. Now guys, I always start with brows first. I am going with the Got To Be glue. And I've got my spoolie, and what I'm going to do is just apply a bit of product onto that spoolie. Don't need a lot. Put it back in my hand like this. So what I like to do, as you can see, is basically with the product, push your hairs forward like this, and then you're going to bring it up. And then once you're happy with it, make sure all the hairs are in place. You're going to get your finger and you're literally just going to push it up to basically stick that right down and make sure they're not going nowhere today. Cool, and I'm going to use my brush here and I'm just going to tidy it up at the top slightly until I'm happy with it. Bring it down. Perfect, lovely, see? Look at that. Brows are done. I'm going to get my cotton bud here, my Mercier water, and I'm just literally going to add a little bit onto the top there. And what we're going to do is get rid of any of that excess glue. So right underneath the brow and then at the top there, making sure we have no glue there that is going to interfere with our makeup. Next, we're going to go on to the foundation base. So today I am using MAC Studio Fix. I've gone for an NW35, which I'll be mixing with the NW20. And also what I'm going to be doing, which I do every day, because I don't like a real full cover when it's just day-to-day glam, so I'm mixing it with my aloe water. So I use this as a primer as well, but it's ever so lovely. It's hydrating, it smells delicious, and so yeah, so what I like to do is I'll do a pump of this, and then a squirt of that onto the foundation, basically. Another pump of the NW35. Also guys, it's really important that you know your undertones, okay? I'm a red undertone, which is why I'm using the NW today. I've got the end of my spoolie and I'm literally just going to mix that together. And what this does is it basically turns it into a tinted moisturiser. You're not using as much product as you normally would either. And it just gives enough coverage, but not too much. So I've got my foundation brush today. This is a great foundation brush because of the sides. It's like the straight sides and the rounded curve. It's perfect when you're filling in certain areas like around my brows like I'm about to do now. So I always start by going in the middle, straight down in between my brows. And then I'm going to basically carve out my brows first. And that's why it's great to have that straight edge there. And then I'm gonna go underneath the brow as well. Right underneath there, as you can see. And then what I'm going to do is just bring it around the rest of my face. Okay, so on my face it's covered the foundation. As you can see, it looks a bit of a mess right now. What we're going to do is get our fluffy brush like this, and I'm just going to tap that product into my skin. Now what this does is it creates a flawless base and make sure that everything is covered. The tapping is basically you're tapping that foundation into your pores. As you can see, when I just scraped the makeup over my skin, it left like textured look, cakey look. We do not want that. So this, by basically blending it into your skin, by tapping it in like this, you're avoiding all of that. And you're gonna end up with a lovely, flawless finish. Now there's certain areas that you won't be able to get to. So we have, it's almost like an eyeshadow brush, but it's got thicker bristles. So I use that to blend around the smaller areas. So on my eye bed, you can see round circular motions underneath that eyebrow arch there, right underneath the eye, around the nose, super important. And yeah, lovely, making sure everything is covered. As you can see, you can still see my freckles underneath. That is how light it is, but we have that coverage there and enough there to make it last all day. We're all about longevity here, ladies and gentlemen. So we are moving on to the concealer. I also use the concealer as highlighter as well. We are using the Tarte 22 Light Neutral today. And what I like to do is place a little bit under my eyes. You want to avoid going, if you suffer creases under your eyes, avoid going right underneath the eyes. Always do your placement just below your creases and then blend into it. And what I'm going to do is I have a little bit here to really brighten those eyes, right underneath the arch there. Just check that. Yep, perfect. I'm happy with that. And then while that's set for a second, I'll move on to my contour. Today I'm going with the Sosu Dark Contour Stick. Now what I like to do is I put a little bit here at the corner of my eyes. Corner of my face here and here. Top of the ear, straight down. And I like to curve slightly underneath. You're welcome, if you prefer it, go straight down to the side of the mouth, if that's what your preference is, or if you find that easier. And then again, perfect. And then I like to just do my neckline. And so what I'm going to start off with is blending out this highlighting area. I'm going to start with the eyes first. These brushes are Morphe brushes, they're ever so good. I'm going to put all of the products and brushes into the comment section, by the way, guys. Here I am just finishing off that blend. Always round circular motions and just keep blending until you are happy with it. Okay, and then moving on to the blend of the contour on the eyes, I'm going to use a flat top brush like this. It's quite a small flat top brush, and I'm literally just going to push that in. And what this does is this will create a shadow effect where it looks like you have eyeshadow on, but you haven't. It's just a very quick, cheap way of doing it. And then we're moving on to the bigger flat top brush, which I'm going to do the rest of the contour with. Basically, when you are blending out that contour, you always want to be blending up, ladies. You never want to be bringing it down. So what you're going to do is we're going to lift the face by blending it up. If you're dragging it down, you're going to basically pull your face down with the makeup. And we're all about being lifted and youthful, right? So the more you blend, the less defined it will be. So it's completely up to your preference. This is just an everyday Luxe Glam, so I want to keep it quite subtle, really. I'm going to blend it out quite a lot. Stunning. And then with the neck, it's fine to just obviously bring that down. It's really important that you check your neck more than once, because it's quite easy to have that line there that you miss, that you don't necessarily see. So what I've done there is I've done the neck area with the flat top brush and I've brought that contour down. I'm now going to go back over it. This is the brush we used earlier to blend in our foundation. And again, I'm going to go over the neck. Beautiful. Okay, so blush. Now, I'm using the Beauty Bay palette today. As you can see, we've got peachy tones and pinky tones. I'm just gonna do a bit of both. And literally, I like it quite subtle. Because I want to see you have a bit of colour there, but obviously this is a very soft, everyday glam. Nothing too crazy with the blush. So, and then a little bit on the nose. I feel like blush just makes you a little bit more human. Do you know what I mean? Now guys, what we're gonna do, we are going to set the makeup. My sponge, which has a nice sharp area here, so I can use that to really help me highlight that contour area. So basically, again, we are baking here, and I'm going to leave that there to set, and the same on the other side. The difference between baking and setting is at the moment, you can see I've just got a little bit of product on there left from where I've baked. We're leaving that on there to bake. Under my eyes, I'm just going to set, because as I explained earlier, I have creases under my eyes. I find setting powder, too much of it will just sit in those creases and make it worse. So what I do, I just literally tap it underneath my eyes. I like to go over that blush again to just dull that blush down a little bit on the side of the nose. And again, the other side, not adding any more product onto my sponge. I'm also now going to set my eyes. What this does, if you get mascara on your eyes, you can just let it dry and brush it away, because where you've got that setting powder there, it's protecting your makeup. Now I am just curling my lashes and then followed by my mascara application. I look so much more awake. I'm awake. And then I like to do the corners, literally just the corners of the lashes at the bottom. I find I get a bit too much product on there, so what I like to do is get my spoolie and then come underneath and just take a bit of that product away and make sure it's sat exactly where I like it to sit. Lovely. Okay guys, moving on to a very quick lip that I like to do every day. This is my go-to and I love it. So basically what I'm going to do is line the lips. I add a little bit into the corners here and then blend it out. There we go. Blend it out with your finger. Stunning. Subtle, but stunning. And literally, just add a gloss. Simple as that. Let's get rid of this fake. And there we are. A very quick, everyday Luxe Glam, which the more you do it, the more you practice, the quicker it'll become. It can take me 10 minutes in the morning. And yeah, and it lasts all day. So we will set it today as well. I'm using the setting spray of MAC Fix It, which I love this setting spray. I feel like the makeup just melts into your face and it lasts all day. As I said, I'll put all of the products and brushes into the comment section. I will be back very soon with some more makeup sessions. Thanks guys.